What I've noticed for quite some time now is I think that one of the biggest problems that I hear about with people, if you could, underneath so many of the questions, is the question of a kind of fear. There's so many people that are experiencing different kinds of fear. And, people relate to fear or express their fear or their anxiety in different ways. Some people just feel afraid, and maybe even afraid to the point of immobility, not really knowing what to do. Other people, when they're afraid, they get more agitated, more aggressive. Some people deal with the fear of being by being depressed. So, like I said, anxious. There's a whole spectrum of how any of us can experience this sort of fear of being. And in the world, certainly in the States here, people feel so kind of on edge, because we have not found a new orientation of being. Certainly as a culture, as a whole, we have not found a new orientation of being, a new value that we can collectively agree that is important enough to orient ourselves around as a culture, as individuals. I think modern life in most of the world is characterized by this sort of disintegration of so many of the old orienting principles, the old orienting values. And when that happens, when there's just cycles that humanity goes through, these cycles, and we're in this cycle now when we sort of lose our mooring, lose the feeling of a sort of firm ground underfoot culturally, that we, like I said, where we can, with all of even our disagreements and diversity, where we can come to some fundamental agreement on some really fundamental principles or fundamental values. And it seems like everywhere I go that this is our fundamental orienting principles and values have been sort of thrown into flux, which is another way of saying there doesn't seem to be much agreement about what brings us together, right? Where we can connect. And of course, when human beings, cultures, societies go through those kinds of experiences, they bring a great amount of turmoil. These kind of, like I said, these come in cycles in every culture. The cycles seem to be, in modern life, they seem to be shortened down. They come with great, rapidity. I think because everything has been sped up, in modern life. Modern life is probably characterized by a kind of speed. Everything is moving and changing extraordinarily quickly, and in that kind of atmosphere, it's easy to kind of lose your foundation. Like I said, that foundation of what orients you in life, or what makes your life feel meaningful or deep or rich, or gives that sense of something profound or valuable to existence. And I've talked about this before, and I think it's worthwhile talking about again, at least to touch upon it, because when, like I said, when cultures go through that kind of turmoil, the most common thing that comes out of it is, at least initially, is fear and anxiety. Because there's no sort of stable place to hold on to culturally. There's no sort of firm ground underfoot, and it can become much more, like I said, unmoored or destabilized unless you have something internal that's very deep and very profound, something that's a kind of orientation that orients you in your embodied experience of being, that orients you towards something that's dependable or stable or certainly peaceful.